Let's jump into a couple of things. John and I were talking for a minute ago about emails and B2B. And as you all know, I had written this B2B email for Touch CR at Christmas time, and we got into a discussion of others. Some of the other things to engage on an email once I wrote something from a child and said, a thank you note from a child to a customer, and it was so many years ago, but it was something to the effect of, I want to thank you for the purchase you made. My daddy got a bonus, went to the toy store and got me a toy. And so it was all tongue-in-cheek, and it was a great response. And so there are so many ways that you can do things. Even the unsubscribe. We talked about the unsubscribe platform yesterday. Well, when you unsubscribe, you can send someone an email and say, you have been unsubscribed. That's the last email you're allowed to send. And what you can do in that place, at that moment, is take some license. Dear so-and-so, I've taken note that you've unsubscribed. At this point, the only choice I have is to go into therapy. I don't want you to feel responsible, parent, unless guilt works. But this is going to be a very long process and will probably mean I won't spend as much time with my children. But again, don't worry about it unless guilt works. And in the off chance that guilt does work and you'd like to resubscribe and save my mental health, please click here. You can do things like that. You can have some fun. John talked about the Groupon unsubscribe, where it went into a video of a guy sitting at multiple desks and he's at a station and he's responsible for retention. I did one that I never launched, but it was fun because it's my own little sick mind. And I had one where a guy's sitting in a chair and every time someone unsubscribes, it was zzz, and he got electrocuted a little bit. And I really wish I had launched it, but the project died, so I didn't. But I sort of put it on a shelf. But you can do things like that because people will engage. We've become such a fast society with social media and dealing with our kids and our families, and the sensory inputs that we have are exponentially increased. Think about the family of the 1950s and 60s. There was no internet, there was no social media, there were no cell phones. They had a very slow life. Now look at a kid, by the time they're 3, they can use an iPad better than anyone in this room. And they understand technology better by the time they're 5 than I do. Richie's going to agree with that any second. But the point is that there's so much stimulus that you lose your sense of humor. I try to laugh all day long. I keep people going all day long. You can also use humor as a little bit of a litmus test to see where people are coming from. Case in point, only because this just happened last week or 2 ago, we hired another employee and to be an assistant to one of our other employees, one of our millennials, as a matter of fact, Mitch. And on the phone, I said to this new employee, we'll welcome him to the stand-up, and I said, any rumors about this person's prior employee assistants being brought to tears are strictly rumors. And my purpose for doing that was to see what this man's reaction would be. And he laughed and took it well, and it just welcomed him in. And he sort of entered in a very warm environment. And to him it was, I'm sure, because I've done this so many times, this is going to be fun. These people have a little bit of sense of humor. This is not a stodgy company. And don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to use humor. John said, I would kill for a 42% open rate on B2B. I'd kill for, what did you say, kill for a 12% in some cases. Yeah. So the email that I wrote for Christmas got a 42. What does that tell you? It tells you that, if you were doing a split test and on a product and the A got 42 and the B got 12, which would you go for? You'd use the A. So if the humorous email gets a 42% open rate, why would you sit there and go, oh, I don't know if I could do that? Or, it's right in front of you, 42%, beyond your wildest dreams. Do it. So don't be afraid to take that step. What do you think, someone's going to send out the humor police and arrest you? Or they're going to say, I'll never deal with your company again because you made me laugh. It's about engaging. People are so overstimulated. People are so numb to everything. How many ads are there? Native ads. You can't scroll down in a blog without videos popping up now. and gifts wherever you go, they're overstimulated. So if you can reach them and you reach them through humor, do it. What have you got to lose? Asking questions is the best way to engage. Don't be afraid to ask questions. And, for example, unsubscribe. I'm back to that again. It goes to the unsubscribe page and says, why did you unsubscribe? Nobody fills that out except Tony. Nobody. He's the only one who had his hand up. But if...
Was it a long copy that Tony filled out?
Yeah, it was, yes. And then he charged the company for doing it. Sent them a bill.
The 10 top 10 reasons I'm unsubscribing.
That's right. According to science. So what about, as they go off that page, the pop-up that comes and says, please stop. And you make an appeal to them, and you make it funny, you make it interesting. Please help me to keep my job. I'm responsible for knowing why people unsubscribe. And since no one fills out any surveys for me or answers questions, I might lose my job someday. Please help me keep my job. And just check one of these selections. And you can make them as funny as you want. And the funnier you make them, the more humorous, the more engaging, and then you give them the option to not unsubscribe, you're going to hold on to them. What have you got to lose? You're losing them anyway. Take the shot. I mean, you all unsubscribe for things, and it's always the exact same thing. Give people what they don't expect. Okay? All right, let's move on.